How's it going today, folks? Welcome to what could be a record-setting day. Forecasted high is 31 degrees today. It's May the 4th. And the standing record in the area, 28 degrees from 1911. So, could be breaking that today. Just wait and see what happens, I guess. But it could be a record-setting day, and it's tough this early in May, especially when you don't have irrigation on yet. Got the well sprinkler on again. It's working pretty decently, but it's close to salty water, so we just have to hope that salt doesn't build up too much in the plants. But we have to do what we have to do right now. I'm hand watering in the corner here, best as I can. It's not easy. This just comes off the tank, gravity fed. Have to keep it nice and low, so a little tough on the old back, but gotta keep things watered somehow, I guess. The sprinkler from the well wasn't quite reaching into this back corner here this morning. It's a bit of a wind coming from the east, so couldn't quite reach this back corner, and didn't want to add extra length of hose for an extra 5 feet of reach, so just decided to water this corner by hand and go from there. It's a bit of a challenge watering by hand like this, but until we have our proper irrigation, that's what we have to do. I could throw an extra length of hose on the sprinkler, but it's already 400 odd feet of hose, so how much more do you add, I guess, is the question. I'm having some interesting fun with the valve that's on it as well. It's got some sort of springing mechanism in it, so you turn it on 3 rotations and it's not the same amount of opening every time, so it's a bit interesting trying to get it set right, but making do anyway. Just trying to get everything watered up here. I have a few pots that have gotten too dry, so the soil's shrunk and it's just draining down the side. That's where we really need the sprinkler on it, but so see, I might have to add another hose length on the well sprinkler yet, but do what we have to do, I guess. It's whizzing away there, but one thing I definitely noticed with the higher pressure that the well has versus our normal irrigation, this is a lot more fine mist coming off of it, and a lot more susceptible to wind flows. So if it wasn't for the wind this morning, it would have probably reached into this back corner, not a problem, but because of the wind, it just couldn't reach. And it's not even that much of a wind, really. It's maybe 20k or something, but it's enough when it's fine like that. So kind of a bummer, but hopefully we'll have irrigation sooner rather than later. Morning, folks. It's the next day now. Out at the potted tree field, just having a quick look before I have to go into work today. Everything looks pretty decent, but starting to see a little bit of the effects of watering with salt water. There's a bit of white on the landscape fabric there, so not brilliant, but just have to monitor it over the next few days here and try and water by hand a bit more as well, just to try and keep up. But of course, having to work today doesn't help that. But anyway, just do the best we can and go from there, I guess. Morning, folks. Saturday now. It's beautiful morning. Great big blue skies. So much for that rain they were forecasting. Should have expected that though. Just been out watering last night and this morning. Not much to report on other than that. Just keeping everything watered, and I just didn't think it would be that interesting just to watch me water all day, so haven't done as much videoing because of that, just because it's all watering at the moment. But I'll see what happens today. It's supposed to be a little cooler today, thankfully, so a little relief, but would have liked the rain that they forecast, but judging by the sky, we're not in for anything soon. It's nice big blue sky. Definitely seeing some of the effects from watering with well water though. You can see places there's a little bit of white sheen on the landscape fabric there, just from the salt that's been left behind after the water's evaporated. So just kind of monitoring it just to make sure it doesn't get too extreme. You know, in some areas like up here you can really see it pretty clear, so I mean, obviously more water sat there and evaporated there than other places, so just have to keep watching, see how it goes. Watching the plants, making sure that they're not starting to wilt or anything, even though they're watered. But everything's doing okay so far. I think most things are appreciating the water rather than no water, so keep going for now. Hopefully we get irrigation Monday or Tuesday, but I think probably Wednesday is more realistic, but you know, can keep hoping, I guess. See how it goes. It's definitely been a long first week of the month just because of all the watering and how hot and dry it's been. But we've gotten through it just about here, so yeah, just looking forward to the cooler temperatures this upcoming week, and hopefully we can get some irrigation so we can get into some potting up and stuff, because there's quite a lot of stuff that we need to upsize. You know, some of these ash need upsizing. There's all the paper birch over there, they need upsizing. Pines, some of them, a bunch of spruce, some willow down at the far end there. Just, yeah, there's probably at least a couple of thousand that are past due for upsizing that we haven't gotten to just because of no water, and you know, last fall was so hot until the irrigation stopped suddenly and then it snowed, so we didn't really have much chance in the fall there, and haven't had much chance in the spring here just because of the irrigation being a little later than it was last year. So kind of put us behind the 8 ball a little bit, but we'll get there in the end, I think. Just another challenge on the field. Grow out bed seems to be doing okay for the most part. Haven't been able to get any water on this yet, but yeah, everything seems to be doing not too bad. I mean, there's a couple tips that have browned a little bit over the winter, but overall everything else looks not too bad. When I put the grass mulch down, it's you know, seems to keep the weeds a little bit more at bay. Wasn't that thick of a mulch though, so obviously some are still poking through, but compared to where I didn't put it, it's a lot more weedy there, a lot more grass and a lot more everything there, so might have to look at getting some cardboard down or something just to help keep things under control. But yeah, I mean, it's looking not too bad. Would like to get some water on it to get things waking up here, but of course until we have irrigation it makes it a little harder, because the hose that's normally used to water this is now in the potted tree field, because that's the bigger priority at the moment. So yeah, kind of a bummer there, but you know, it's doing okay. You know, the in-ground stuff seems to need a lot less water, which is nice, so it's a bit of a benefit for us. It doesn't need as much and stays moister because it's not black pot sitting above the ground. But yeah, definitely have noticed a bit of pine damage. You know, there's a pine there that didn't make it, one there that's been chewed back, and a couple of pines that have been chewed or had some dieback. So yeah, definitely some pine losses for sure. So that's not ideal, but you know, I guess lesson learnt, don't plant pine in open fields. So we don't have any fencing around this field, so the deer had a little bit of a feast this winter because they were so desperate. A few of them are okay though, a few of them were untouched just because they were a little bit shoulder or a little bit more snow drifted there, so you know, it's not a complete loss, but just a setback. Yeah, definitely a bunch of pines that haven't made it, which is kind of surprising. So just kind of have to wait and see what they do and if they bounce back or not. Might be taking a bunch out just because, you know, they're not doing well enough to keep going with here, but we'll see how it goes. So yeah, lesson learnt, fence needed. Still have a bit of grass mulch left from last year. The deer spread it out a bit though, which doesn't help. But yeah, as soon as I can spend less time on watering, and hopefully it's a little bit of a gap between the irrigation coming on and seedlings coming, so I can get a little bit of work done out here. I can get some more mulch down and get a few more weeds taken out from the grow out field here, but chances are I won't be that lucky. I'll have to wait until after the seedlings are done. But you know, that's how it goes sometimes. Saturday afternoon now, as you can tell, it's clouded over, so that's a bit of a relief. Haven't got really any rain. We had, you know, it was spitting for, you know, 5 minutes, but it wasn't even enough to get the surface of the ground moist, so it wasn't really much. But the cloud cover itself, though, is nice. It keeps the pressure off for the watering. It finally gives us a break, thank goodness. We've now kind of caught up with the watering, so we're looking in pretty good shape now, I think. So now I can take a look at a couple other projects. Yeah, everything looks pretty good and moist now, so definitely thankful the cloud cover came along there, gave us a bit of a break. It's supposed to remain cloudy for the next couple of days here, so even if you don't get really any rain, just the cloud cover itself helps everything maintain moisture longer, so it's definitely a relief after the heat wave there. So yeah, and now probably just the perfect time for the irrigation to come on when we don't need it as much. It's usually how it works, but that's okay. We'll still take it.